from shadowy corridors to chilling whispers in forgotten rooms. These 20 haunted houses across the UK aren't for the faint-hearted. Each hides a dark secret, tragic tale, or restless spirit waiting to be uncovered. 1. Restoration House. Behind its elegant 16th century facade, Restoration House hides something far darker than royal history. Known for hosting King Charles II, this grand mansion is also home to the ghostly Lady in the Garden, a sorrowful spirit seen drifting among the hedges at twilight, vanishing into the mist. Visitors often report whispers in empty rooms, cold spots near the grand staircase, and the unmistakable sound of footsteps pacing when no one is there. Some claim they've seen a pale figure peering from an upstairs window, even when the house is locked and empty. The air inside is heavy, as if the walls remember sorrow. Shadows move where no light should fall, and portraits seem to follow you with their eyes. Locals whisper that the house inspired Charles Dickens's Satis House in Great Expectations, a place haunted by heartbreak. Whether fiction or fact, the line between the two feels dangerously thin here. Even in daylight, the silence of Restoration House is deafening, as though the past is waiting to speak again. Few dare to walk its corridors after dark. 2. Alfristan Clergy House. Nestled beside the River Cuckmere, Alfristan Clergy House looks like something from a fairy tale, timber-framed, serene, and impossibly charming. But once the sun sets, its centuries-old walls seem to whisper secrets. Built in the 14th century, it was the first property ever saved by the National Trust, yet the real story lies not in preservation, but in presence. Staff and visitors have long reported the sound of footsteps pacing above, even when no one else is in the house. A ghostly monk, silent and solemn, has been spotted standing near the fireplace, vanishing as soon as he's seen. Cold drafts sweep through rooms without cause, and the scent of old incense lingers in the air, even when no candles are lit. One former caretaker refused to return after witnessing a door slam shut with unseen force and feeling a cold hand grip his shoulder in an empty room. Though idyllic by day, the house transforms at night. The creaks become footsteps, the silence feels watchful, and history presses in from every shadow. In Alfristan Clergy House, the past never truly leaves. 3. Cotel House. Perched high above the River Tamar, Cotel House exudes a quiet, timeless beauty. But beneath its ancient stone and faded tapestries, something restless stirs. Dating back to the 15th century, this Tudor estate has seen centuries of life and death. In the dimly lit chapel, visitors report the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Some have heard low chanting echoing softly, though no one is there. The most chilling tale centers on the White Lady, a pale, veiled figure who glides through the Great Hall. She's said to be a heartbroken noblewoman who threw herself from the battlements after being betrayed by her lover. On misty nights, her silhouette is seen standing at the edge, staring into the river below. Doors open by themselves. The scent of roses, her favorite flower, lingers in cold, empty rooms. Even the staff admit to avoiding certain corridors after dark. "It's not what you see," one gardener once whispered. "It's what you feel." At Cotel, the past is more than memory. It moves through the house, just out of sight. 4. Athlampton House and Gardens. With its grand gables and manicured gardens, Athlampton House looks like a portrait of English elegance. But behind its Tudor walls lies one of the most chilling hauntings in southern England. Built in the 15th century, the house has long been plagued by stories of a mysterious grey lady who glides silently through the great chamber. She's often seen near the grand staircase, vanishing through walls where a hidden door once existed. But she's not alone. Athlampton is infamous for its ghostly monkey, a spectral ape that scampers through the halls, sometimes heard chattering or shrieking at night. Legend says it was a family pet, walled up alive during a scandal, and its restless energy still haunts the house. Cold spots, flickering lights, and unexplained banging doors are all part of daily life here. Even seasoned caretakers admit to refusing night duty. Beautiful by day, Athlampton grows unnervingly silent after sundown, as though its ghosts are listening and waiting. 5. Osborne House. Osborne House was Queen Victoria's beloved seaside retreat, a palace built for peace, privacy, and love. But behind its royal splendor, shadows linger. After Prince Albert's death in 1861, Victoria descended into decades of mourning. She wore black, shuttered rooms and kept his spaces untouched, as if waiting for his return. Some say he did. Staff have reported cold drafts in sealed rooms, clocks stopping at the hour of his death, and faint piano music drifting through the halls at night. One former guard claimed to see a tall man in Victorian dress vanish near the Queen's private suite. The Blue Room, where Victoria died, remains especially heavy. Visitors feel watched, touched, or suddenly overcome with emotion. A lady in black is sometimes seen walking the grounds, silent, slow, and deeply sad. Though filled with royal history, Osborne feels less like a museum and more like a house still occupied by love, loss, and a presence that refuses to fade. Even now, the Queen may not rest, and those who linger too long may feel what she left behind. 6. Basing House. Basing House, once a grand Tudor mansion, now lies in ruins, but its dark history still haunts the grounds. In the 17th century, it was the site of a bloody siege during the English Civil War, a time of violence, betrayal, and death. The sounds of cannons and screams have long since faded, but the spirits of the soldiers who perished here are said to linger. Some visitors claim to hear the echo of galloping hooves, and others have seen the apparitions of soldiers in period uniforms standing at the edge of the ruins. But it's the ghost of Lady Alice who is most frequently seen. Legend says she died in agony after the house fell, her final moments marked by the loss of her family. Her pale figure is said to appear at the entrance, her eyes full of sorrow and longing. At night, the wind howls through the crumbling walls, carrying with it the sounds of distant battles. Cold spots and the feeling of being watched are common, especially near the old gatehouse. There's a strange stillness in the air, as though time itself has paused to mourn the tragic events of the past. Even now, Basing House carries the heavy weight of history and the souls that refuse to leave. 7. Medieval Merchant's House. Tucked away in the heart of Southampton, the medieval merchant's house stands as a relic of a bygone era. With its narrow, dimly lit rooms and ancient oak beams, it evokes a sense of mystery. But something far darker lingers beneath its historical charm. Built in the 13th century, this merchant's home was once a bustling hub of trade and wealth. But prosperity doesn't protect from tragedy. In the dead of night, locals whisper of the merchant's restless spirit, said to have met a violent end over a debt that could never be paid. Strange occurrences plague the house, where footsteps are often heard walking the creaking wooden floors long after it's locked for the night. Cold drafts sweep through rooms, though windows and doors are sealed tight. Guests have reported seeing a shadowy figure in the upstairs chambers, lingering by a fireplace, before disappearing into thin air. The most unsettling, ghostly presence is the Lady in White, a spectral figure who wanders the house, her face twisted in sorrow. It's said she was the merchant's wife who died in despair after his betrayal. She is often seen gazing out of the window, as if waiting for someone who will never return. The house is silent by day, but as dusk falls, its history seems to awaken. The past bleeds through the walls, a reminder that some debts, both human and supernatural, can never be settled. 8. Uppark House. Perched on the rolling hills of West Sussex, Uppark House stands as a grand Georgian mansion, its graceful symmetry concealing the turmoil of its past. The estate is picturesque by day, but when the sun dips below the horizon, the house comes alive with whispers from a darker time. The most well-known haunting is tied to Lady Sarah Murray, who died tragically in a fire in 1793. Her nightgown caught fire as she tried to flee a locked room. Though her body was lost in the flames, her spirit is said to linger. Visitors often report a sudden oppressive chill near the fire site, and some claim to see a woman in period clothing by the windows, her face obscured by flickering flames. She's described as staring outward, trapped in the memory of her final moments. But Lady Sarah may not be alone. Sounds of children's laughter, mixed with eerie cries, echo through the halls. A child who died tragically in the house is thought to be behind these ghostly sounds. The house is calm during the day, but at night, shadows shift unnaturally, and there's a constant feeling of being watched. Uppark House holds its secrets tightly, and the restless spirits of its past are always close, waiting to be revealed to those who dare to stay. 9. Breour House. Nestled in the tranquil countryside of Hampshire, Breour House seems like an idyllic slice of English heritage. With its beautiful gardens, stately rooms, and ancient charm, it appears the perfect country estate. Yet something far more sinister stirs beneath its walls. The house, dating back to the 16th century, has seen generations of wealthy families come and go, but not all of them left quietly. The most infamous haunting here is that of the man in the black coat. Seen standing motionless in the shadows of the Grand Hall, his figure is often described as both distant and ominous. Some say he's the ghost of a former owner who met a tragic, unexplained death. But the house is also known for its unsettling energy in the attic, where visitors often feel an icy chill creeping down their spine. The soft sound of footsteps, though no one is there, echoes throughout the space, and items are known to move on their own as if pushed by invisible hands. In the drawing rooms, portraits of past residents sometimes seem to shift, with eyes following guests as they wander through the rooms. It's a chilling reminder that at Breour, the past never truly lets go. It clings to the walls, the furniture, and the very air you breathe. Strange sounds, like whispers, hum through the house at night. Some claim they can hear someone crying in the distance, a sound that grows louder as the night deepens. Whether it's a lingering ghost or the sorrow of the house itself, Breour's unsettling history lingers in every corner. 10. Buckland House. Tucked away in the tranquil Devon countryside, Buckland House stands like a forgotten relic of the past, its Georgian facade hiding centuries of untold stories. Built in the 17th century, the house has been the site of tragic loss, and it's said the spirits of its former inhabitants still roam its halls. The most famous ghost of Buckland House is the Lady in Grey, a spectral figure seen drifting silently through the rooms. It's believed she was a lady of the house who met a cruel fate, either betrayed by a lover or consumed by grief after losing her family. Her sorrowful figure is often seen near the grand staircase, her face obscured in shadow. Visitors to the house frequently report a sudden chill in the air, particularly near the drawing room where the lady is said to have spent her final days. Some have heard the faint sound of footsteps as though someone is walking just behind them, though no one is there. The most unnerving phenomenon is the sensation of being watched. The house seems to hold its breath, as if the past is waiting to speak. The walls whisper of forgotten tragedies, and the air feels heavy. Buckland House is quiet by day, but at night it comes alive with the memories of those who once lived there. The house offers a chilling reminder that the past never truly leaves. 11. Bramshill House. Bramshill House, a grand Elizabethan mansion, may look peaceful from the outside, but beneath its majestic exterior, dark secrets lie hidden. This imposing estate, built in the early 1600s, has been a center of military and royal intrigue, and its walls hold a tragic history. One of the most chilling stories is that of a young woman who vanished mysteriously within the house's labyrinth of rooms. Some say she was a servant who met a grisly end at the hands of her lover, and her restless spirit now wanders the estate. Visitors have reported hearing her soft, mournful cries echoing through the hallways at night. The most unsettling occurrence is the sudden drop in temperature that sweeps through certain rooms, and the feeling that someone is silently watching from the shadows. Some say her ghost appears in the mirrors, her eyes filled with sorrow. Bramshill House is not just haunted by one spirit, but many. The house's corridors seem to echo with the voices of its past residents, their faces forever trapped in time. It's a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and every creak of the floorboards whispers its secrets. 12. Ham House and Garden. Nestled on the banks of the River Thames, Ham House and Garden is a 17th-century mansion full of historical charm, but also full of ghosts. The house, once home to a powerful noble family, is notorious for its supernatural activity. Among its many ghosts, the most infamous is the ghost of Lady Sarah Murray. It is said that after her untimely death, she returned to the house to watch over her family. Visitors have reported seeing her in the corridors, her face obscured by a dark veil, standing silently by the window where she once waited for her beloved to return. At night, strange noises emerge from the garden. Footsteps, voices, and the sound of a piano playing a mournful tune. The temperature drops noticeably, and the air grows thick with a feeling of despair. Some say the garden itself is cursed. The trees seem to twist unnaturally, and flowers grow in strange patterns, almost as if something is guiding them to bloom in ways they shouldn't. The spirits of Ham House seem to be deeply connected to the land, their restless energy lingering in the very soil. Each visit to Ham House feels like stepping into another time, where the living and the dead still coexist. 13. Home of Charles Darwin. Down House, once home to the great scientist Charles Darwin, is known for its scientific significance. But some say it is equally famous for the strange occurrences that happen within its walls. Darwin's theories about evolution changed the world, but not all life forms seem to have evolved quite so peacefully in this house. Visitors claim to hear mysterious noises late at night, soft footsteps, whispers, and even the sound of a typewriter clicking away, despite the absence of any living writer. The most unsettling ghostly presence is that of a woman in a long, dark dress. Some believe it is Darwin's wife, Emma, who still wanders the house, her spirit never fully able to rest. She is often seen staring out the window where Darwin himself would have sat, pondering his theories. There's an eerie sense that the house holds on to the past. The walls seem to hum with unspoken questions, as though the spirits of past residents are still waiting for answers. The house feels alive with thoughts that never quite left. Many visitors claim they can still feel Darwin's presence in the study, as if he's still working, contemplating, and searching for answers in the quiet night. 14. Bohill House. Bohill House, an elegant stately home nestled in the heart of the Scottish borders, is known for its grandeur, but it also harbours a chilling past. Once the residence of the Dukes of Buccleuch, the house has witnessed many dark moments in history, and some say the spirits of its former residents are still present. One of the most disturbing hauntings is that of a soldier who died here during a bloody skirmish. His ghost is said to appear at dusk, dressed in his military uniform, his face twisted in a silent scream. Visitors have reported hearing the sounds of boots marching through the halls, echoing through the empty rooms. Another chilling apparition is a woman in a flowing white gown, seen standing by the windows, looking out into the dark forest. It's believed to be the spirit of a lady who died in childbirth, her soul never able to leave her beloved home. At night, the house seems to shift, as if it's alive with memories, and the air grows heavy with the feeling of forgotten tragedies. Some say the shadows in the drawing room seem to grow longer, and the paintings of the family appear to stare, as though they are watching over the living, guarding their secrets. 15. Anne of Cleves House Museum. Anne of Cleves House, a charming 15th century timber-framed house, is more than just a historical landmark. It is a site of sorrow and betrayal. Once home to Anne of Cleves, the fourth wife of King Henry VIII, this house now houses echoes of her painful past. Though Anne lived here after her marriage to the king was annulled, her spirit seems to remain tied to the house. People have reported seeing her ghostly figure wandering the halls, her face reflecting the sadness and humiliation of her brief marriage. The most disturbing aspect of the haunting is the strange sound of knocking at the door, followed by an unsettling silence. Many believe this is the sound of Anne, waiting for her fate to be decided, as she was dismissed by the king without warning or compassion. The house is often visited by those seeking a glimpse into Anne's life, but some visitors leave with more than they bargained for: a cold chill, a fleeting figure in the corner of their vision, or the feeling that Anne herself is watching them from the shadows. There's a sense of quiet desperation in the air, as if the house holds Anne's final, unspoken thoughts. 16. Eastgate House. Eastgate House, a striking Elizabethan mansion located in Rochester, is as eerie as it is historic. The house, built in the 16th century, has a long and complex past, including periods when it served as a workhouse and a home for the mentally ill. This dark history has left its mark, and it's said that the spirits of its former inhabitants still roam its halls. The most well-known ghost here is that of a former resident, a young woman who was driven mad by her time in the house. Her tragic death, coupled with the torment she endured, has led to her spirit remaining trapped within its walls. Visitors have reported hearing soft whispers, followed by the faint sounds of a woman weeping, especially near the old attic. Eastgate House's eerie reputation is further enhanced by reports of cold spots and flickering lights. Some claim to have seen the figure of a woman in a dark dress, her face hidden in the shadows, pacing restlessly around the rooms. The ghostly presence in the house is not limited to one spirit. Over the years, several different apparitions have been seen, each with their own tragic tale. Eastgate House remains a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin, with the past constantly intruding upon the present. 17. Beachfield House. Beachfield House, located in the quiet village of Beanacre, Wiltshire, is a serene setting during the day. But as night falls, the atmosphere shifts dramatically. Built in the early 1800s, this charming house is a place steeped in mystery and the echoes of its past. The most chilling tale is of a family who once lived here, tragically perishing in a fire that ravaged the property. It is said that the fire was no accident, but rather the result of a dark family secret. The spirits of the family members who died in the blaze are said to linger in the house, eternally bound to the site of their death. Visitors to Beachfield House report hearing the sounds of footsteps, accompanied by the scent of smoke, even when the building is empty. Cold spots and the sensation of being watched are common, especially in the room where the fire is said to have started. The house seems to hold its breath at night, as if the spirits of the lost family are waiting for something, perhaps justice, perhaps peace. The eeriest phenomenon is the sight of shadows moving in and out of the corners of rooms, figures that vanish the moment you turn to look. 18. Englefield House. Englefield House, located on Englefield Road in Berkshire, is a grand, sprawling estate with a hauntingly tragic past. The house dates back to the 16th century, and it has witnessed centuries of tumult, including battles, betrayals, and heartache. One of the most enduring tales from Englefield House is that of the Lady in Black, a noblewoman who once lived in the house. She is believed to have been betrayed by her lover, who ultimately left her heartbroken and alone. Consumed by grief, she took her own life within the house's walls. Her spirit is said to haunt the estate to this day. People who visit Englefield House claim to have seen the Lady in Black gliding through the hallways, her dark gown flowing behind her. Some report hearing her soft sobs echoing through the empty rooms. Her presence is most strongly felt in the library, where her lover is said to have spent countless hours before his betrayal. As night falls, the house becomes unnervingly silent, and the air grows heavy with a sense of loss. Visitors have also reported inexplicable cold spots and the feeling that the Lady in Black is watching them, her grief-filled eyes following them from the shadows. 1906 Poor Traveller's House. The Six Poor Traveller's House in Rochester, Kent, was founded in 1586 by Richard Watts, a kind-hearted local MP, to offer warmth and rest to 6 weary travellers each night. In his will, Watts set aside funds to restore the building, creating 6 simple rooms where guests could find shelter. Each traveller received a meal, a place to sleep, and 4 pence for the road ahead, a quiet gesture of care. Some say the house still holds whispers of those who passed through. One gentle presence is thought to be a man who once arrived during a storm and found the door locked. Now, on rainy nights, soft footsteps echo through the halls as if he's still walking, calm and unhurried, waiting for morning. Another figure is that of a woman in an old Victorian gown, glimpsed by the hearth or through a high window. People say she once worked there, and that a tender, hidden love led to heartbreak. She doesn't frighten, only lingers, like a memory, watching over the rooms she once knew. The Six Poor Traveller's House remains, not just in stone and story, but in the hush of quiet moments, a place where kindness and perhaps a few gentle spirits still quietly dwell. 20 Skare House. An ancient mansion in Porthcawl, Wales, is steeped in tragedy and mystery. Elizabeth Williams, the daughter of the house's owner, fell in love with a man her father forbade. Their forbidden love ended in heartbreak, but what happened next remains unclear. Elizabeth's sudden death within the house has never been fully explained. Some say it was suicide, others whisper of something darker. Though centuries have passed, her spirit is said to haunt the house. Visitors report hearing faint footsteps, eerie whispers, and feeling an unsettling presence. The most chilling occurrence is the flickering Canwyll Corfe lights, believed to signal the presence of lost souls. Many claim the house feels heavier at night, as if the walls themselves hold the weight of unspoken secrets. Some have even heard faint cries or felt icy hands brush against them in the silence. The very air around Skare House seems thick with sorrow and despair, as if the house itself mourns what happened within its walls. What truly happened to Elizabeth? Could her death be more than just a tragic accident? The mysteries of Skare House remain locked away, awaiting those brave enough to uncover its secrets. If you enjoyed this haunting glimpse into the most mysterious homes we've uncovered for you in 2025, be sure to like, share, and let the shadows linger. Follow Creepy Experience for more eerie tales and ghostly echoes. Had a strange moment of your own? Leave a comment. We'd love to hear your whisper from the other side.